Well, hello. I'm live. Okay. Everyone's here. Well, I got some new stuff to show. Some stuff I can't show on live stream. So you'll have to wait till I put it on video. Everyone. We got 2 viewers. That's pretty good. Because it's I'm using StreamYard. I can't I can't see the thumbs up. So give me thumbs up after the stream. Okay, we got some new things here. Without further ado, I got these suggested by my good buddy, Big Tactical, from Modern Combat Sports, and with the promo code TACFAM, that's capital letters, one word, you'll get 10% off on all your less than lethal purchases. And that's these new Max Papa pepper balls. Well, we got some views, but the chat is cold. Cold as a refrigerator. Brr. Okay. That being said, I have some new ammunition. I'll show you what this is. These are the Black Widow 68 caliber polymags. I got them on eBay. They were cheap, so they were cheap, less than lethal slugs. Oh, I'm doing quite well, JS. It's always good to hear from you, brother. Always good. Now, these are the new. Now, I like these because they're the Black Widows, because they're basically I think it's like what you call a resin kind of thing with a lead. It's like a lead kind of slug in between it. So this is a good less than lethal slug. It's weighted down with lead, and I already put some of it in here along with my basically home wrecker busting balls, 68 caliber, of course, and of course I managed to get some new magazines for my pellet pistol, the Vigilante. These are basically this magazine is holding HN Hornets, very pointy. When you shoot them, these are on the .177, and I also got the Gamma Lethal .177, and one of these, as you can see, the Gamma Lethal. So I got a whole bunch of magazines. They were cheap for the cross Vigilante. Yeah, I got a place to shoot them. These are for home defense, pretty much. Now, a lot of people have seen my other things. Now I do have something I've set up for my Thank you, JBS. I do have something, that I can't show on basically live stream because of how YouTube is. I have managed to put a new rifle red dot sight on my basically Sig Sauer MPX pellet rifle, and it's basically like a pellet rifle, an air rifle version of like a real Sig Sauer, pretty much. Takes these chains, and this one is holding the HN Hornets, so that's pretty good. Takes these bad boys, these 90-gram CO2s. I'm glad you like it. So that's pretty good. I was doing a little, part of, what people don't understand about me is I do a little artistry. I drew this symbol. I thought it was pretty cool. I drew this by hand with the help of a protractor and a ruler. This is a symbol I drew. I just doodling, you know. Well, thank you, JDS. You know, a lot of this less than lethal stuff, anyone can get. I don't care if you're a felon or anything. You can get like less than lethal launchers. And I tell people this: less than lethal, you can get like PCP air rifles. In most places, with the exception of Jersey, there's not much regulation on these, so you can get them. And with the PCPs, they have firearm power. Now, I want to make clear: there's two different kinds. Okay, there's the pellet pistols, are basically the ones that shoot the basically lead slugs, like the big bores. Depending on what kind of, and there's different kinds of pellets you can get. Like you can get like 30s, 35 caliber, or 22 caliber, or .177, depending on what you like. You can get like, these PCP air rifles and air pistols, but you can also get less than lethal, where you can have like, like these like, that shoots these nylon reinforced steel balls. It's basically a steel ball with a reinforced nylon shell. Rubber steel balls. And of course you can get these specialty slugs. They're, well, interesting. Well, thank you. I've done a lot of art in my time. I actually make my own targets that way, using a protractor. Hello, Nomad. But yeah, the new stuff, and I'll review it for the new. These are my new Max Pava, basically suggested by TAC. These are the new pepper balls. These things will stop any attacker. I got the Black Widows. These are like lead-weighted, less than lethal slugs. Already put them in there. And of course, I got the new magazines for. I got a lot of them for my Crossman Vigilante, and these are some new pellets. These are the Gamma Lethals, suggested by my good friend. I'll give a shout out to him. By my good friend, Less Than Lethal Dad, LLD. He suggested these for the Crossman Vigilante. I also have, of course, HN and Hornet magazines for it. So, yeah. So, that being said, I think you might like that. So, these are my new glasses, if you haven't noticed, but I also have some new outdoor glasses. These are my new indoor glasses, but yeah, have some more outdoor glasses. Like this. These are my new outdoor glasses, so new prescription sunglasses. Do they look nice? Yeah. Moving along. Well, now I don't want to bore people, and yeah, well, maybe I should talk about something's happening in the world, maybe, or something, I'm only getting 3 viewers lately. Got 3 viewers out here. Oh, there's several. I can't show anything because of YouTube. Damn it, I can't show nothing. I would say the best on the market is a Berna. You got a Berna, like semi-automatic, launcher. That's a rifle version. You got the Berna pistols, very good. You also have the T for E stuff. If you're looking for home defense, I would recommend the HDX 68. Home Defense Extreme. It's basically a pump action shotgun. Takes 2 CO2 cartridges. It's can shoot pepper balls and these. I would suggest these. Don't get the rubber balls. I made that mistake. Get the nylon reinforced. Either get the ones from Modern Combat Sports or get basically the home wrecker busting balls from eBay. And go to Modern Combat Sports. Well, I would get the Berna pistol launcher, if that was you. If I was you. Or I'd get the Berna pistol launcher, or I would get the HDR 68. That's a home defense revolver that takes these big bad boys. You can shoot pepper ball. You can shoot different types of less than lethal slugs. So I'm two pistols I would suggest: the HDR 68 and the Berna. The Berna is good for the carry around. I would say that the HDR 68 is good when put next to your bed, pretty much. So yeah, the HDR 68. And if you want to tune it to higher degrees, so true, Nomad. How you doing, zombies? But it's always nice to see old friends. So those are the two pistols I would suggest. Oh, there's also another one I would suggest, the Mercury Rising home defense pistol. That the Mercury Rising less than lethal 50 caliber pistol. I would also suggest that one. If you can't afford the Berna, get the Mercury Rising or an Italian LTL. I would say the LTL Alpha would be a pretty good one to go with. How do you do, Nancy? How do you do, Lewis Quinn? Welcome to the stream. That being said, it's always nice to see people that out here. But for you Americans out there, if you want to get less than lethal launchers or, high-powered pellet rifles, go to Modern Combat Sports. And with the promo code TACFAM, and that's one word, all capital letters, you'll get 10% off on your purchase. Sorry to hear that. I don't go to college. I never went to college. So, of course, these days, it's a bad move, too. Hello, Green. Smells like grease. It's my. But yeah, this is what we're doing. So everyone's understanding. Doing well, Lewis. Doing well, if that's addressed to me. But every day. So for the knife guys out there, I guess I'll show this one again. One of my favorite EDCs now. Razor sharp out of the box. It's a good pocket knife to carry around. The SOG traction, wonderful. But that being said, I mean, I got a whole bunch of these for the Vigilante, which is really good. They're cheap, by the way. They were cheap on eBay. Oh, thank you, Lewis. Thank you, Lewis. I just recently got it. It's basically razor sharp. I could shred paper with this. I mean, I've cut fruit with it at work. So when I bring oranges with me, so yeah, and all you need to do to clean it is basically put a rag, put a little one of these napkins with some oil on it, you know, some of this lubricant, and it's good as new. You know, good as new. Interesting, Nomad. Interesting. Oh, yeah, very interesting. Interesting. Glad everyone's having a good time. Yes, I'm very familiar with England's knife laws. In my state, you can carry something like this, but there's still a length limit, and I'm about to leave my state because of how stupid their laws are. Their laws are very similar. Our law, we have the castle doctrine in this state, but we have no right of self-defense on the streets. So I'm moving to another state. You know, I'm moving to a more red state where you have the right of self-defense, you know. Yeah, I have English friends, Lewis, so I understand that point of view. I have British friends, so they tell me a lot about British laws. And as bad as the laws in my state are, they're not nearly as bad as the laws in England. I think that's because we still have a Second Amendment around here, you know. So that's that's always interesting. And I'm planning on moving away from my state to a more, you know, red state, you could say, um, where the laws are a little bit more, you know, self-defense friendly. You know, like Florida, stand your ground and stuff like that. You know. Well, yeah. But I just want a state where I have a legal right to defend myself on the streets. That's the state I want to live in. How you doing, Rusty? I want to show some of the new things. I guess I got to do a catch up on some of the things, new things I got. These are the new Max Pepper balls. These were suggested by TAC from Modern Combat Sports. And I'll say it again. One word, capital letters, promo code TACFAM. Get 10% off on Modern Combat Sports. That's true. Well, I live in a rural area. It doesn't happen as much. But here's the thing. I don't want to live under laws where I have no right to defend myself on the streets. So, but, you know, I can move to – there are a lot of other great states I'm planning on moving to. But, yeah, here's the pepper balls. I got the new magazines for my Crossman Vigilante, and these are basically the, these are like H&N Hornets. You're familiar with these. And these are something new for Crossman Vigilante. These are the Gamma Lethal, suggested by my good buddy and fellow member of the Airgun Coalition, Less Than Lethal Dad, LOD. Check out his channel. He's a cool guy. That is true, Lewis. Yes, well, I don't have a lot of violence on my street, but it happens sometimes. And the point is that I don't want the laws to be against me if I have to pull out something. You know. But one thing we do have in this state that probably you don't have in England is a castle doctrine, which means if someone busts in your house, you can kill them. You know. But that's a moot point, you know. Yeah. A very noble quote, Nomad. Very noble quote. Americans have a different mentality, I guess, than people in England. We prize ourselves on our rights of self-defense, so we want to defend ourselves. There are Americans that are against that, and they're called liberals. They don't like that. I mean, they don't like the fact, you take Kyle Rittenhouse, for example. They didn't like the fact that Kyle Rittenhouse had a right to defend himself against a bunch of thugs that tried to kill him. And I don't care what you say. If you're trying to hit someone in the hack of the head with a skateboard, you're trying to kill somebody. And Kyle Rittenhouse had a right to defend himself. Some dead commies, if you ask me, but that's just me. Oh, awesome, Rusty. Good for you. It's better to be judged by 12 than carried out by 6. Lewis. Yes, I do. I'm working on getting like security cameras in my house, Nancy. I'm already on that, but I think by next week I'll probably have them. That and other things I have to square away. As you know, I'm leaving Maryland, and it's not going to be easy, because I got to do a lot of things to leave Maryland. I got to pay a lot of dues and learn a lot of new things. Yeah, but they're stupid in other ways. Nomad. I mean, they believe in things that just don't work a lot of times. There are some things that libertarians are right about. Some things they're not so much right about because it goes against human nature, Thank you, Lewis. Well, that being said, Glad you agree. Glad you agree. We're down to 5 viewers. I hope you gave me a lot of thumbs up because I can't see them right now because I'm on StreamYard. Just remember, in order to survive, you need Reagan. Oh man, Reagan. Reagan approved liability protection for vaccine manufacturers. He also approved no-fault divorce. You know, there's a lot of things I can criticize about Reagan. Yeah, some libertarian. I wouldn't consider him a tyrant. I just consider him basically a guy that wasn't such a Republican. You know, there was a time, I mean, John Wayne, when basically Reagan was an actor in his acting days, he had a nickname in Hollywood called Red Reagan. You know why that was? He wasn't as conservative as people think he was. I mean, he was considered a communist during those days. This is why John Wayne did not like the guy. John Wayne, they were friends at one time, and they parted ways because of his communist views. And if that would ever came out, and the fact that he approved no-fault divorce, which is basically the most worst thing that could ever happen to America. No-fault divorce destroyed families. So yeah, they used to call him Red Reagan. He wasn't a tyrant, but he was an idiot in a lot of ways. And I don't think he was a true conservative in any way. I mean, it wasn't mean to be a conservative these days. I mean, this is why I'm not voting anymore. I don't vote. I'm done with it. I don't vote. The only thing I'm going to be voting with is my feet. Yeah, too bad. Too bad. I mean, yeah, I mean I mean, the Duke was a real solid guy. The only thing that comes close to him is like Sylvester Stallone today. I would say that Sylvester Stallone has become like the Duke of my generation. And don't get me started on like Arnold Schwarzenegger, piece of garbage, But Stallone, I think Stallone is kind of like the today's John Wayne. He's the John Wayne of my generation, and he's a lot like him. Yeah. But yeah, Reagan approved no-fault divorce. He approved liability protection for vaccine manufacturers. Yeah, I'm all for, basically people having right to free enterprise, but when you're basically messing with people's bodies and people have serious, basically when you push a product where basically if someone takes it and they have serious, like repercussions, and like I'm talking like things that really go wrong from taking that product, yeah, there should be some kind of grievances that you can get that you should be able to sue them. I believe that. No, I'm not Jesus. I don't ever compare me to him. I'm a man. I'm just a man. You know? Yeah, well, yeah, he was a good guy. I mean, but I think the only guy that comes close to this is basically Sylvester Stallone now. I think Sylvester Stallone has become the John Wayne of our generation, at least my generation, Generation X. You know, the John Wayne of Generation X. I mean, he is literally is like he has a similar mentality to that of the Duke. So I gotta put Sylvester Stallone up there with John Wayne in a lot of ways. You know. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, it's really sad what happened to Stallone. I mean, after all those years, he was married to that woman all those years, and she's like in her 40s, right? And, and she's trying to she's divorcing her husband. She divorced her husband, thinking that she could find another man. That's the biggest joke I've ever seen. Oh boy, she's 40. I think she's 50 years old. Not 40, but she's 50 years old. And she thinks that she could basically find another man of like Sylvester Stallone's caliber. I mean, come on now. Come on. That's crazy. It's laughable. You know? I mean, the woman is 50 years old. How do you go to? No man can top Sylvester Stallone. I mean, come on now. Not, I. Oh, come on, not even a doctor could top Sylvester Stallone. You were married to Sylvester Stallone. No man will measure up to that. Yeah, that's not very good. That's not very good things to look up to, in my opinion. Rappers are not very good role models to look up to. They're not John Wayne. They're John Shit. I'm not really a fan of those. Hello, Art. How you doing? But yeah, that brings me to another topic. If I'm going to go off the rails a little bit. Okay. Do you what? I've been observing some things. And ladies, you hear me out because this is going to be interesting to you. Okay. And the one thing I do is I read a lot. And I do a lot of statistics. I'll read a lot of statistics and stuff like that. And yes, I read statistics. I read about the news, what's going on. Really? Really? Look, rappers basically rap. You can't compare a rapper to John Wayne because a rapper basically makes a criminal a hero. John Wayne never did that. Neither did Stallone. So, how you doing, Aragon Johnny? I was just talking about these products I got. I got these from Modern Combat Sports. These new Max Pepper Balls, and I got these new basically lead weighted less than lethal slugs, Black Widows, and I got some in the chamber, along with my basically my home wrecker busting balls, and of course got some new I got a whole bunch of these, by the way. I got some of these extra magazines for my Crossman Vigilante. These are, as you know, the H&N Hornets, and these are the Gamma Lethals suggested by my good friend, Less Than Lethal Dad, and Gamma Lethal. good pellet for the Craftsman Vigilante. No, they didn't glorify cold-blooded murder, okay? They glorified doing the right thing and being a hero. There's nothing heroic about rappers. I'm sorry. It's not. I've seen them. Personally, Art, I don't think it's a good idea. I would say if you're going to shoot those those little bolts, do it in the HDS 68 home defense shotgun, that double barrel. Don't do it in the revolver. I think it's a bad idea. A lot of people are doing that, and I would not suggest it. If you want to go that route, get yourself a Vlad repeating crossbow or a Steamboat Stinger AR-6. Yeah, though I do think that that Rocky is a better working class hero than basically. I do believe that Stallone's Rocky is a better working class hero than the rappers. So yeah, it's stupid. But personally, I didn't grow up around rap when I was a kid, so I'm a bit of a rocker. So I have a bias towards rock music. So. It depends. You can pull back heavy bands. It depends on your how long your arm is, your arm length. If you have short arms, short draw, I recommend shorter bands. If you have a long draw like I do, longer bands. Depends on what you like. It depends on your draw, actually. Airgun Johnny, your draw. If you're talking about an actual slingshot, right? Like a slingshot for shooting. Well, if you're talking about the sling hammer, well, Airgun Johnny, I would suggest it wouldn't matter. It's a crossbow, so it's a crossbow that shoots 12 millimeter steel balls, pretty much. Get it on eBay, you know. Yes, Rambo is a pretty good movie. You know, truth be told, Rusty, truth be told. Really. You just came into here. Rusty's been been one of my supporters for a long time. You're new here. Rusty has been one of my longtime supporters. Isn't that right, Rusty? Oh yeah, well, okay, handheld slingshot recommendation. I would say go to Simple Shot. You'll get a lot of good things there. Simple Shot, whatever you like. If you're looking for a pot, like a something that's something that'll fit in your pocket or something a little bit bigger, go to simpleshot.com and you'll get some good stuff there. Depends on what you like. What type of style you like. I mean, there's a lot of slingshot styles now. I mean, slingshots are very much where art and function meet these days. There's a lot of great, beautiful slingshot frames out there, functional and beautiful, depending on what you like. Okay, handheld slingshot recommendation. Yeah. Okay. You're going to get a handheld slingshot recommendation. I always say go to simpleshot.com. You'll find what you're looking for. You know? That's right, Rusty. You've been a long-time supporter. And I got these, I got to test these out. I might test these out. Maybe one of my arrogant relatives say, "Oh, those won't do nothing." They'll take the pepper ball challenge, see how well it works for them. These are. Now, I like to talk about different things. I guess this is a live stream. Why not? Okay, this one's for the ladies. Okay, and don't get me wrong, Nancy. You're a good lady. Don't get me wrong, but this one's going to be interesting. Okay, and I love statistics. I read about different things. And how you doing, Brian? Now, here's the thing. Okay, I would first like to preface. I never kick a man when he's down. In the sense that I don't basically mock someone if they're down and out, if they're not successful in something. I never do that. I never do that because that's not right. I never do that to anyone. Okay? But ladies, I'm not talking about all of you, but most of you. You seem to do that with men who are not lucky in love. And you call them incels for not being lucky in love. It's like you're equivalently of kicking a man when he's down. So true, Rusty. You seem to be doing that with and ladies, there's a criticism there. But here's the thing about that, ladies. You're going to do what you're going to do. I don't care. But here's the thing. You're going to use incel as a pejorative against men. And even men who are down and out. That's like, and to me, that's like calling a homeless person, like, oh, you're a smelly shitbag or something like that. I wouldn't do that. But that being said, there's been statistics, and this is something that I've been researching. There's something called the coming spinster bubble. A lot of women, because they chose career over family, they're going to be alone, and they're going to know what it's like to be treated like an incel, or what they call an incel. It's just a guy down on his luck, So you can mock that guy who's lonely today, but you'll be in the same position tomorrow. Just a little factoid, because most of these career women are going to end up cat ladies. So that's true. That's true, Rusty. So true. I got these new lead-weighted. Now, for those who don't know, these new lead-weighted Black Widows, these are basically 68 caliber polymags. Exactly, Green. Exactly. Well, I don't call it karma. I call it you reap what you sow. See, I don't mock people for being down and out. I was down and out many times in different ways. So I don't do that. I don't do that with anybody. I really don't. You just don't mock. And a lot of guys like to do that with guys too. I mean, don't mock someone for being down and out or unlucky in love. It's not right. Yeah. I've never been to one, Art. Never cared for one strip club. That's true, Aragon Johnny. That's true. Well, that being said, I would like to get off that subject, you know. But yeah, don't mock someone because they're unlucky in something. Because you might, according to the latest stats, you might end up in the same position they're in, lonely, desperate for male attention when you hit your 40s and 50s. So, that being said, I ordered these because they were cheap on eBay and because they had a lead core in them. Something I've been trying to get. These are less than lethal slug, Black Widows. They are basically, I think they're made with like a poly. Like I think they're made with kind of like that stuff with that resin glue. I forget what it's called. Uh, yeah. Oh, epoxy glue, and yeah, epoxy, that hard epoxy stuff. And they have a like a lead slug in the middle of them. So what I like it's got the weight of lead. So even with my 200 and I think my around 253 FPS HDR 68. This gives it a much more weighted impact because it is lead weighted. So that is much more punch for the price. And these are fairly cheap. I bought them on eBay for about 16.99. So yeah, this is very great. But it hurts. That's true, Rusty. That's a possibility, Rusty. I mean, that's a possibility, Brian K. Sorry, Freudian slip there. Freudian slip. But yeah, that's a Freudian slip right there. But you gotta do what you gotta do. Now, so we got some new stuff out here, and we're doing well. We're doing well. You know. So that's the reason I show these things because I think that they're very good. They're very good for the buck that you're going to get. So I'd say, yeah, I only pay $60.99 for these, but I'm impressed with how well built they are, and basically, I like the weight of lead. So, which had an idea for. I had an idea for like a riot ball that was lead weighted. Um, It basically was like this: you take like a steel ball in the middle, you drill a little hole through the steel ball, and you fill it full of lead down the middle, and then you basically put this nylon reinforced shell, and then you got much more heavier grain, like less than lethal, like riot ball, pretty much. So, but this one is similar concept to it. This is similar concept. These Black Widows here, and they're very similar to that concept, except they're slugs, lead weighted, less than lethal slugs, pretty much. That's very interesting. Yep. That being said, it's always nice to see everybody. Okay. That being said, Any questions? Because I'm running out of things to say. Because the chat's going as cold as ice. Starting to feel like a refrigerator around here. Brr. I do like that. I'll show that one out. It's not a rifle. It's a revolver, Airgun Johnny. I think you would know that. I've seen people put stocks on them. If you're talking about a stock, as in like a rifle stock. No, I don't do that. Yeah. Well, I do have a plan. Yes, I'm going to move. Probably what I'm going to do is, so I can travel lighter, is like sell most of my furniture, and then I'll get a vehicle for the rest of my stuff, and so I can travel lighter and get furniture when I move there. So, Rusty. So I don't need to carry all my furniture with me. I probably could sell it to family members and all that jazz. Get new furniture when I get there. So true, Airgun Johnny. No, man. I live alone, and that's how I roll. I was thinking of a U-Haul, like a U-Haul, like one of those U-Haul things, like you hitch to your vehicle. Nancy. Well, we'll see. I'll keep you informed, Nomad. But for right now, let's just I'll let everyone know when the time comes. Oh, thank you, Iron Man. God bless you too. Well, since Iron Man hasn't been here, you know what I gotta do? I gotta repeat. I got these new pepper balls. These are Max pepper balls, suggested by TAC. If you live in America, go to Modern Combat Sports. You can get, with the promo code TACFAM, you can buy all your less than lethal stuff for 10% off, and that's one word, capital letters, TACFAM. That's your promo code, and you'll get 10% off on all your less than lethal purchases on Modern Combat Sports. Of course, I got to show what I got these new Black Widow slugs. They're lead weighted. They got a lead core in them. I think it's they were cheap, and actually I like them. They're these new Black Widows, as you can see. These are the Black Widows, and got these new magazines for my Crossman Vigilante. Now the pellets that are in here are basically the .177 gamma lethal, suggested by Less Than Lethal Dad or LLD. Check his channel out. He has great videos. And of course, I got your HN and Hornet mag right here. I got a whole bunch of these. These were fairly cheap for the Crossman Vigilante. Yeah. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Iron Man. The weather is going to change on Sunday, which is going to be pretty good. The temperature is going to rise. It's going to be the rain's going to stop, which is very good. I might get out and do some more videos. Now, I have something new. Now, for my SlingshotWarrrior MPX, okay, I'll repeat this. I accidentally put like a pistol red dot sight on there, so I had to order the rifle red dot sight, and now I got the laser flashlight combo on it. I can't share that on stream, as you know, because of the firearms policy, even though there are no firearms being shown. Only a pellet pistol, which isn't a firearm under U.S. law. Stupidity. Oh, yeah. Oh, retro wave? I listen to 80s retro wave all the time, brother. I love 80s music. I love it inspired, I listen to a lot of that. I have a lot of that stuff on my playlist, bro. I can't stand most modern music. I really can't. I really love the 80s music. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not a really big fan of hip hop or rap. It's not my thing, you know? Now, don't get me wrong. I did like some, let's see, what kind of music I liked back in the day. I liked like a lot of rock music back in the day. Now I'm into a little country, even a little contemporary, you could say, Sometimes even a little piano music, Well, thank you, Street Life. Thank you, thank you. Well, I can tell you why, because we're no longer the world reserve currency. That's why. Hate to break it to you, the yuan, the Chinese yuan, will become the world reserve currency. Well, it already is, pretty much by default. Okay, so basically what's happening now is that the US dollar was, for the longest time, the world reserve currency when it came to trading, international trade. That has changed. So basically, the empire is collapsing pretty much. The American empire. So you gotta. But for me, I don't really care about the American empire because it hasn't been my government. Hasn't really represented me, so I don't really give a shit. So let it collapse. Yeah, well, the 80s was more of an upbeat decade. It was more of an the funny thing is, kids today, for example, kids of the millennial generation like magic and Harry Potter. You know what I mean? I didn't grow up like that. You know what was really popular when I was a kid was like scientists and engineers. You know what I mean? Like Doc Brown's Back to the Future. You know, wasn't like these Harry Potter. I never really understood Harry Potter. It seemed like crazy. I never liked J.K. Rowling. Who can, Rusty? Who can? Modern music is a dumpster fire. Well, in a lot of ways, well, I'll put it this way: this collapse is going to change the power structure in America. Like the Soviet Union collapse, I mean, there basically the old power structure is going to be destroyed, and that's a good thing because the current crop of elites we got to go. You know what I mean? Art, not my problem. Street life. I never. I mean, I was in my 20s when the books came out, and then the movies that I never watched. There were the books and the movies that I never watched. Um, yes, everyone talks about Harry Potter. It's like, nah, not for me. When I was growing up, it wasn't magic that was really popular. Um, and basically, from a Christian point of view, it's basically sorcery and not very good. But it was science. Science was the real thing that was popular when I was a kid growing up. You wanted to be like Doc Brown or basically Egon Spengler when I was growing up because they were creating like really cool gadgets and technology, um, not magic. Um, yeah, kind of like that, Nomad. I have, I have. Iron Man. That was a great '80s movie. There are a lot of great '80s movie out there, but the funny thing is, the '80s was the only decade where kids were looking up to scientists and engineers and were inspired by them, not by magic or anything like that. So the kids of the '80s were looking up to Doc Brown, Egon Spengler. It wasn't just the muscle men out there. So you had different kinds of masculinity in the '80s. You had intelligence, power of mind masculinity, like masculine thinkers. And you had masculine men, of course. But so it wasn't just, there were different types of masculinity in the '80s. You had intelligent masculinity. You had basically the thinking man's masculinity. And you had, basically strong masculinity, like strong, like, and you had a balance sometimes between the intelligent man. Like you had like Patrick Swayze character. He was very intelligent, but very strong, very capable. So, so that's what you got, in the '80s. So we weren't looking up to Harry Potter. We were looking up to Doc Brown and Egon Spengler in the '80s. Those were our heroes. That and Stallone, Schwarzenegger, and things of that nature. But yeah, Exactly. But the point is, in the 80s, you didn't have like, you had diversity of different masculine archetypes. You didn't have like, a single masculine archetype. You had the intelligent masculinity. You had the in between masculine, between intelligence and physical prowess. You had physical prowess masculinity. There was different kinds of masculinity back then. Well, I'll put it this way. No, I'll put it this way. A lot of people wanted to invent technology like Doc Brown or Egon Spengler. Exactly. And that's what the 80s was about. The 80s was about machismo. And there was different kinds of machismo. Now, if you want to sum up the 80s when it came to movies, popular culture, it was machismo. Machismo. And there was different kinds of machismo for different kinds of men. You know? Well, he was the thinking man, wasn't he? He was the thinking man. There's the thinking man masculinity. The intelligent man. Mm. That being said, I really got to go. Um, I will see you. I'm gonna play the credits.